The Holy Gospel according to John, the first chapter.
Glory to you, Lord.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things came into being through him, and without him not one thing came into being. What has come into being in him was life, and the life was the light of all people. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overtake it. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify to the light, so that all might believe through him. He himself was not the light, but he came to testify to the light. The true light, which enlightens everyone, was coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world came into being through him, yet the world did not know him. He came to what was his own, and his own people did not accept him. But to all who received him, who believed in his name, he gave power to become the children of God, who were born not of blood or of the will of the flesh or of the will of man, but of God. And the Word became flesh and lived among us, and we have seen his glory, the glory as of a Father's only Son, full of grace and truth. John testified to him and cried out, "This was he of whom I said, he who comes after me ranks ahead of me because he was before me." From his fullness we have all received grace upon grace. The law indeed was given through Moses. Grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. No one has ever seen God. It is the only Son, himself God, who is close to the Father's heart, who has made him known. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, O Christ.
Please be seated. Grace and peace to you from God, whose word became incarnate light in Jesus Christ, and who meets us as our Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer. Amen. Amen. There was a time when I served on the church-wide staff of the Chicago offices of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. And I can say today I am glad I am not in Chicago. This morning I understand it was 21 degrees in Chicago. Yeah, I've been there when it's been colder or cool. And I recall a very dreary December in Chicago, much like the dreary December and November that we've experienced here in the Sacramento area. Yeah, and when it was cold, cloudy, overcast, with occasional snow for much of that month. Now, I was getting tired of this overcast Chicago winter weather. I felt lethargic, grumpy, impatient, and ambivalent about work. And on top of all of this, I had to go to Minneapolis for a meeting. I wondered who had the bright idea of having a meeting in Minneapolis in December. But it was a meeting that I couldn't miss. So I got on a plane. I wasn't happy about this meeting. I really didn't want to go to Minneapolis. I expected more of the same dreary winter weather. The plane took off. The ascent was smooth, uneventful, and eventually the plane broke through the clouds. As soon as the plane broke through the clouds, the cabin was immediately filled with sunlight. All at once, I was amazed, surprised, excited, energized, and glad to again experience sunlight. In that plane cabin, there wasn't a dark, dreary spot to be found. Everyone was bathed in sunlight. I could sense everyone's spirit being lifted up by the sunlight. Now At that very moment, I was glad to be on that plane, even though it was going to Minneapolis. I'll admit the meeting in Minneapolis was productive and went very well. But what I remembered that when I returned to Chicago, because of experiencing sunlight, I was energized, enthusiastic, and ready to face the challenges of ministry. We are people who need light and who seek light. I think that one of the reasons we seek and need light is because there is darkness in the world. Okay? Darkness comes in many shapes and can take the form of violence, broken relationships, people hurting other people, crime, terrorism, war, going out and kidnapping a president from another country, prisons, homelessness, hunger, disease, illness, addiction, discrimination, unemployment, sexism, hate groups, racism, evil. Thank you, Julie. That helps. Thank you. Spreading lies and misinformation, and the list goes on and on and on. And I know, and you know, we've all experienced darkness, and we've witnessed and seen darkness around us and in our lives and in the world around us. And we don't have to go far to experience darkness in the world. Whatever darkness exists in the world, as human beings, we also unfortunately bring it into the church. I mean, it's just the nature of being human. As a matter of fact, darkness is even in and among us because we mess up. We fail, we fall short, we're imperfect. We fail to do the things we ought to do, and simultaneously we do the things we don't want to do. At times we don't trust God, and at times we even turn away or turn our backs on God. In the face of darkness, we seek light that helps us deal with the darkness of the world. We need light to counteract the darkness around us, among us, and in us. We need light to open us to change and possibilities and to see those possibilities. And we seek light to transform the darkness. Which points another reason why we seek light. We seek light because of what it does. When there's a blackout, have you noticed what many of us do? And probably all of us have done it when there's been a blackout, right? When there's a blackout or power outage, we seek light and any form of light. So we light a match, right? Or if there's a candle and a match, you want to light that candle. Or you do have a flashlight. All of us have flashlights available, so we go to where that flashlight is, or flashlights, right? Or break a glow stick. You've done that. Or we have a thing called a mobile phone, right? And there's a flashlight application on that mobile phone. Or just the face of that mobile phone, you get to shine it. Yeah. You can even see it in concerts, people anyway. Yeah. So when there's darkness, we seek out any and every form of light. Isn't that human nature? And I'm always amazed at what a simple night light can do to help us deal with the darkness of night. We all have used the expression, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Right, at the end of the tunnel. And have you noticed that no matter how long the tunnel, as long as we can see a speck of light, we have hope. We can see possibilities. We know that with light on our side, we can overcome the darkness and the end is near. Light has that light has the power to empower us to face and deal with the darkness in the world and in us. Light exposes and points out darkness. Light provides hope and possibilities for changing the darkness. Light energizes us to work for change and to be part of the solution. Light supports courage in the face of darkness. Light brings us together. Light a campfire, people show up, along with the bugs, unfortunately. But light pushes the darkness away from us. And I think that these are reasons why the Magi, the wise men from the east, or the stargazers, followed a star. These wise men followed a star, a light, which would lead them to a brighter light, whom we know today as Jesus Christ. During this Christmas season, we celebrate and experience the Word made flesh in the person of Jesus Christ. We proclaim that Jesus is God with us. And today, on this second Sunday of Christmas, we focus on Jesus Christ being manifested as light. At the Transfiguration, Jesus shined like the blinding light of the sun. On the road to Damascus, Paul experienced the risen Jesus Christ as a blinding bright light. John's gospel today proclaims that Jesus is the light of all people. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. Here at worship, we light candles as signs of the light of Christ among us. At Christmas Eve services, even here, the lights are dimmed and we sing Silent Night while holding lit candles. At Christmas Eve, we proclaim through lit candles and song that the light of Christ came into the world in the birth of Jesus. Jesus Christ is the light of the world, and the light of Christ reveals God's grace, manifests God's love, and keeps hope alive. Jesus' light shines among us and was passed on to each of us at our baptisms. At Holy Baptism, a standard congregational practice is to give a baptismal candle to the newly baptized person. And I would guess that's done here, right? As well, yeah. During the candles lit, given to the sponsor or parents, or if the person's old enough, the person being baptized. The baptismal candle symbolizes and proclaims to the newly baptized person and to all the people gathered that we have received the light of Christ, and we too, all of us, are lights for the world. Jesus' light empowers us to shine. And as we shine, we can sing, This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Yeah, then, and some of the other verses, hide under a bushel, no. Or don't let Satan blow it out, or right? Or take it around the neighborhood, right? Yeah. Or let it shine till Jesus comes. But it's a reminder, we, along with Jesus, together, we're the lights of the world. And the world needs that light. We all want that light. And how will each of us shine? Every one of us shines. But the beauty is we all have different lights. And that's okay. If you want, you could even say we shine in different colors, if you think in those kind of terms, if we want to push that. But, our light shines when we love our neighbors as we love ourselves. Or when we forgive each other. We're right now living in a time when people, it's just awful that people can't forgive one another for whatever reasons. We rather hurt them or seek vengeance as opposed to forgiving them. I mean, that's what Jesus would want us to do. Or to offer and work for reconciliation. Let's help people relate to one another, work together. Jesus is in the people gathering business, and we're here to form a community. And I think there are people that are looking for a place like, Atonement Lutheran Church, where people live together, work together, care for each other, love one another. That's shining light in the midst of this world. Or to tell the story of Jesus to people, letting people know, hey, I've experienced the light and I want to share that light with you. Okay? Or feeding hungry people, or helping the unemployed, or helping the poor, or work for peace and justice. Or listening to and respecting people. I'm tired of the American practice of saying two things we don't talk about. You know what those are? Politics and religion. And I think that's why we're in the trouble we are in right now. We don't spend time talking about the things that are important, that really help build this country, is politics and religion, when you get down to it. And we need to talk about that. We need to be people that can talk about the tough topics, but we don't kill each other over it. I mean, that's what church is about. To say that there's a possibility we can live together, we can be different people, we can have different kinds of understandings, we can interpret the Bible in a variety of ways, we can live in all sorts of different ways. We come from different classes, different cultural backgrounds, but we're able to be together. That's where the light shines the brightest, is when people come together. Okay? And so we build up a community and develop relationships and shine a light and point out the darkness around us. And there's plenty of darkness out in the world. You know, I think people recognize it. We just don't want to shine a light on it. Or we just, it's hard to work on that kind of stuff. But if we do it together, it makes it a lot easier. And when we do it together, we shine brighter. In other words, Jesus makes a difference in each of our lives. I'm speaking to the choir here because you're here, okay? That's why you're here. Jesus makes a difference in each of our lives, and we need to show it. So we need to shine. How will we let the light of Jesus Christ shine through us? The important thing is that we each shine, and we need to shine together. It's amazing what a little light can do. It's amazing what God can do with a little bit of light shining through people. Keep in mind, Jesus, and then he had this motley crew, and you can interpret that a lot of different ways, of 12 down-and-out guys, or really, they're really a mix, and they changed the world, okay? But then there were a whole group of followers, you know, that there, who weren't quite disciples, but they also, with the 12 motley guys, changed the world. And just, we got to remember, can do a little bit. And this same light of Christ will shine and light the path on which Atonement Lutheran Church will travel as it reaches out and ministers to the neighborhood around us, and as it journeys through its transition to call its next settled pastor. We're called to let our light shine so that others can see and experience God. I mean, how do people experience God? It isn't going to be a flash of lightning. It isn't because God does a miracle. It's through us. We shine, and they can experience God through that. Steve Charleston, who is the retired Episcopal Bishop of Alaska and a Choctaw elder, wrote, "Let it grow in us, this light. Let it grow in all our hearts, the light of our love for one another. Let it grow and get stronger. Let it not be dimmed, but increased, being ever more radiant, reaching out to enfold all the people who need its blessing so badly. Let it heal us, this wondrous light. Let its love heal us of our fear and sadness, so we may rejoice again in the simple pleasure of being alive, honoring those we have lost, lifting up those we celebrate, feeling community knit itself around us. Let it free us, this light, this powerful light of the Spirit. Let it open the cage of despair in every mind, releasing our children to live in joy, allowing us to fly once again. Free in the open sky of our hope, unafraid of the past that falls far beneath us as we reach for the light, this single shining light, the same light that is already encircling you, even as you finish hearing these words." Howard Thurman, theologian and pastor who served in a place called San Francisco, wrote, "When the song of the angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and the princes are home, when the shepherds are back with their flocks, the work of Christmas begins. To find the lost, to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, to release the prisoner, to rebuild the nations, to bring peace among brothers and sisters, to make, get this, you like this one, do you, Lee? To make music in the heart. Jesus is the light of the world. The light of Jesus Christ shines in the world and in all of us. Through Christ, we are now light for the world, and this light shines at Atonement Lutheran Church and really in every Christian congregation. John proclaims to us, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it and will never overcome it. Nothing can separate us from the light of Jesus Christ, who always shines in, around, and among us. Amen.
Amen.